The Chiefs are victorious in Week 2 of the preseason, 38-10 over the Arizona Cardinals. Jace Andrews here with you as we're here on the Chiefs Report. And the Chiefs, well, they looked insanely impressive against the Cardinals, 38-10. You see the stats on the screen. BlaineGabbard, 7 for 8 with 120 yards, 2 touchdowns, no INTs. La'Mical Perine, he shined a little bit in the running back side, 6 carries for 41 yards. And then Rashee Rice, him and another receiver we'll talk about in just a moment, played absolutely spectacular. 8 receptions, 96 yards. Other side, Toon had a little bit of playing time, ended up getting 133 yards, and Ingram had 28 yards. But yeah, here's what I gotta say. The Chiefs were looking good in every facet of the game. The only time they didn't really look good was the first 1 or 2 drives of the game with the first stringers out there, which is kind of surprising because at first, there were reports that the first string team was going to play for the entire first half. And when they looked bad, it was thinking, oh no, this is going to be true because they're going to have to get a good drive eventually. Well, they got the touchdown with Patrick Mahomes to Justin Watson, and then it was the backup show. So let's get to some winners from this preseason game. My first winner, Shane Buechele. Good grief, this man may have just solidified his role in this team as possibly the second string with his performance, maybe the third string, as we're going to talk about another quarterback who also had a good game behind him. 10 for 10, 105 yards with the rushing touchdown. And I don't think I've ever seen Shane Buechele more hyped than he was when he got into the end zone today. He got in there and was absolutely pumped up. Even at SMU, even at Texas, I don't think I ever saw him get that hyped. But here with the Chiefs, when he ran that in, he was excited. My second winner, let's just go to the next quarterback, BlaineGabbard. He actually had the most yards in this game for the Chiefs quarterback room. He finished with 120 yards. He went 7 for 8, and he had 2 touchdowns. As the third stringers, technically, if you want to play string by string, beat everybody else. The first string had 7 points. The second string had 10 points. The third string had 14 points. And the fourth string had 7 points. So BlaineGabbard shined, 2 touchdowns, 120 yards, and 7 for 8. So I got to ask, who should be the backup? Type SB for Shane Buechele. Type BG for BlaineGabbard. I got to be honest. Shane Buechele, being perfect, really makes me want to give the nod to him because he was 10 for 10. Now, again, BlaineGabbard only missed 1 pass. 7 for 8, 120, 2 TDs. But it's really hard to say anything bad about Shane Buechele, and he in this game was the backup. He came in following Patrick Mahomes, and he played against the better defense. So, with that being said, if I'm having to pick, I'm thinking Shane Buechele is the backup quarterback, but I'm not going away from BlaineGabbard at any point in time. I'm keeping him on the roster for his NFL mindset and everything. He has just experience. He's backed up a lot of good quarterbacks in the NFL, and now he's going to be right here with Buechele as the second string, I believe, Gabbert in the third string, and then Mahomes taking over the 1 spot. Let's talk about another SMU player, Rashee Rice. Him and Shane Buechele had that SMU connection, played together for 1 year, and boy, oh boy, did it show as he caught a couple passes from Buechele, caught a couple passes from Gabbert, and I think he caught a pass from Mahomes as well, but good gosh, 8 receptions, 96 yards. He looked impressive, had a long of 38, no touchdowns, but that doesn't matter when you're getting close to 100 yards in a preseason game. I think at this point, he's not edging if I'm going to make the team or not. It's going to be, am I going to be a starter? Am I going to be that 4th wide receiver that goes on the field in certain sets? Because that's what Rashee Rice looked like today. He was running great routes. He was doing the proper things pretty much every single play on the field. I like what I saw. Patrick Mahomes liked what he saw, and Shane Buechele and Rashee Rice with that connection both liked what they saw. My now 4th winner of this game, Amir Smith-Marsette. Also a 90-yard performance for him, and he tonight, to me, had the best route running on the entire field. He was making cuts. He was making very good catches as well. He was running the proper routes, getting good little lanes for passing opportunities. 4 receptions, 92 yards, 1 touchdown with a long of 44. And he actually had a 45-yard pass that was taken back because of a illegal man downfield. So he could have had close to 140 yards if he hadn't had that one taken back. Amir Smith-Marsette, he looked really impressive, and I think he's got a spot at least on the practice squad at this point. He's not going to go anywhere farther than that. I'm hesitant to say that I guarantee he's going to make the team just because of the depth of this wide receiver room. But ultimately, with the performance like this, 4 receptions, 92 yards, you get a touchdown added onto that, and you play with both the second, third string, and he was on the field once or twice, the fourth string, didn't really do much. But I think with that type of performance, you automatically guarantee yourself a spot somewhere on this team. If that be the practice squad, then that be so. Let me know, who is your biggest winner versus Arizona? Because there's a lot of guys that really played well, and I got to be honest, I don't really know if there was a guy who necessarily played, quote-unquote, bad. Obviously, we're going to get to loser in a second, but there's not anybody that I think absolutely was just god-awful. That was not a thing. Now, who is your biggest winner, though? Because we've gone through 5. Who do you think should be a winner on the preseason week 2 with the Chiefs and the Cardinals? My 5th and final winner is Shamari Connor. Connor looked very great in that safety position as he was all over the field. We called his name probably, 6 times throughout the game as he was just all over the place. He was in deep coverage. He was coming up and stopping the run. He looked well pretty much all over the field. And as a safety, it's almost like he can kind of play in multiple different roles. He had 4 tackles, 1 pass breakup, 6 foot, 202 pounds for a safety is about the perfect area that you want to be at. So I think he himself, as a rookie coming in here, it's probably going to be one of those things where he's going to make the team. It's just going to be dependent on what exactly type of role that it's going to be. Is it going to be a starter? Is it going to be possibly a bench player? Is it going to be maybe a guy that you have as a third stringer that's just going to sit back and learn? We'll just have to wait and see. I want you to subscribe to the Chiefs Report. Get news, get rumors, get live streams, watch parties, everything and more here as we have it all for you on the Chiefs Report here by Chat Sports. Let's get to my losers. The first one, it's Clyde Edwards-Helaire. He did not really play well at all tonight. He had a holding call early in the game. He didn't really look good. And in all honesty, it's not that he looked bad, but when you're fighting for a spot on this team, you can't not look good in a preseason game where everybody on your team is firing on all cylinders, where everybody on your team is putting together the effort to score 38 points. You just can't have that. And the performance that Clyde Edwards-Helaire put together tonight just kind of confirms the idea in my mind that he is going to be cut or he is going to be traded. I would like to see a trade just because I think the kid has some value. He's still young. He's coming off a really good season last year in terms of pass catching. He caught a pass today in the game. I think the Chiefs can get a good trade for him, but he just doesn't belong on this Chiefs team. My second loser, DiCaprio Buechel. And here's the thing. Again, like I mentioned, I don't know that anybody necessarily really played all terrible, but there was just a lot of times in this game where he was just in the wrong spot. He was in the wrong zone coverage. He was not in the right spot to make a tackle, and it wasn't just a great night for him all around the board. So ultimately, I think because, again, your defense played well, your offense played well, and you didn't really do anything, I want to say, great, it's going to be really hard for him to make this team, in all honesty. I mean, you've got a pretty good cornerback room here with Trent McDuffie, Jalen Watson, and L'Jarius Sneed. Buechel right now in the third string position. I just don't know if there's a spot for him on this team with 53 mans coming out here soon. He could be a practice squad guy because, I mean, we've seen shines from him every now and then, but ultimately not a good game for him tonight. And when you're fighting for some roster spot, that's not one you want to have in a preseason game. Now, my third and final loser is NFL defensive everywhere because guess what? The Chiefs are back. They are here because they are going to win the Super Bowl. That's what they want, that's what they're going for, and that's what they are going to do because this offense was absolutely electric. 504 total offense, 31 for 38 for 4 quarterbacks. That's a good line for Patrick Mahomes. That was every single quarterback from top to bottom today for the Chiefs. 393 in the air, 20 carries for 111 yards. McKinnon looked good. Pirine looked good. Prince looked good. And we didn't even have Pacheco. This offense is absolutely stifling, and there is, without a doubt, that this offense is not just a top 5 defense in the NFL. This could possibly be the number 3, number 2, maybe even number 1 defense if it continues the numbers that it had tonight. No turnovers off it, and the thing that I like, and it's not talked about a lot, the time of possession. 30 minutes, 39 seconds, they held the ball and was just really kind of safe with it. They didn't have any turnovers, like I mentioned, and they were able to just kind of score at will and take their time. The biggest thing with the preseason is not the score. It's not the win or loss. It's how you played as a team. And today that offense said, guess what? We're here. We're playing exactly, and we're going to try out every single formation until it works, and they got every single one to work. Now, I want to hear from you. I want you to grade the performance versus the Cardinals. A, B, C, D, or F. What do you think the grade for the Chiefs should be? Because I think I'm going to go with A. And the reason it's not A+, the reason it's not going to be an A+, is because of those first 2 drives for both the offense and, in some ways, the defense. Because it just didn't really look cohesive. It had good kind of spurts here and there, but it just looked like the chemistry wasn't quite melding just yet. So I think that's why it's not an A+. But besides those 2 drives, this team was electric, both on the offensive side and on the defensive side, and I absolutely cannot wait to see what Andy Reid has in store, because this is just the preseason, and when you open up this offense, guess what? Everything gets a lot more fun. Follow me on Twitter at Jace Andrews _. You'll get all the KC news, all the KC rumors, everything you want to know for the Chiefs, and as always, it's a great day to be a Chief.